Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Simple thing. So the same thing you executed, the same project will do like a hello message product only. But we'll see. What is the HTTP request? What is the new event? What are the different parts of the event? That thing we'll see. Okay, I'm creating a project now. When I'm creating a project, we can create project for two ways. One is I'm creating a simple project. This is the project not based on any API implementation. Okay, so if you are designing an API in the design center, we can download that API and we can implement that project based on that API. In that case, we need to download the API. So I told that we are discussing the second stream. First stream is we need to discuss about API design, right? Okay, so I will show you how to download the design, how to implement that design in different way. Now the focus is on how we process the message. Please focus on that. Okay, we will discuss the design concept. We will don't put focus on that right now. Exactly a simple project, and this is the new runtime server we're going to deploy, and the server is embedded inside your Anypoint Studio. Okay, right, and simple project. Finish. So if you see, the project got created, yeah. And it has several folders inside the project. We discussed about each and every folder. What is this such /new sort /new? And if you see, there is a flows there in the bracket. So we discussed the flow is the basic building block of the Mute that will receive the message process, the message write. So we'll put all the flows inside this folder. Okay. So there is one XML file got created with the project name when you create a project, right? And if you see here, to get started, drag an operation of score from the new panel. This is the project explorer. We can see all the projects we created over here from the left side project explorer area. I have developed different products, Salesforce SP, Secure Properties, Demos AP. These are all projects I created earlier. Now I created this project, right? That's right, simple project, simple project. And the main area, this is called a canvas, or we do the coding over here from this area in the middle part. And the extreme right part is a component palette. Like I said, we have different kinds of connectors and business side right. So those things we will drag and drop over here and we can develop the integration. These are all component palette, the extreme right side area. And this is also important, part below area right. If below your canvas there are some properties console. These two are very, very important. If you drag in any component, you want to configure that component can be configured using new properties. These are all things you do when you're developing a new hardware application. I hope. Yeah, but anyway, as I explain as a trainer, I need to explain each and every small thing also. Now there are two ways. What I did is I dragged the listener and put over here. Right. So see, when you drag a simple listener, what happens? The flow got created. Center flow got created. Yeah, right. Sometimes no, I don't want. I want to see the flow. In that case, what you do is I create this thing and type flow in the over here flow. And you can see the flow here, core flow, right? If you drag the flow over here, you can see the flow. This is empty flow, yeah. If you see the empty flow, there are 3 sections you can clearly see. Yeah, 3 sections that you mentioned. That's right. Source process, and error handling section. Now what source will do? Source will receive messages from external systems or applications, right? So my requirement is I will send messages from Postman. I will send message from my Chrome browser. In that case, the Chrome browser and Postman and HTTP applications, right? So to receive the messages from HTTP application and to understand those messages, I need to engage HTTP user. So I'm putting HTTP user in the source box, right? So this guy can able to understand the HTTP messages. Then you need to configure a few things. Means at what port in your machine. This guy is listening for messages. Here I'm deploying my local laptop and local desktop so that what I'm doing is my machine is a local host. This is a 00.2 means local host, local machine. That's right, yeah. And this guy is listening for messages in my machine on 8085 port. So the client want to send a message means he need to send this port. Then this guy can able to take that message. Yeah. So if I change to 8082, I need to send to 8082 port, right? So that's it. And I'm just putting this route, this path where we can receive messages in multiple paths. Okay, I put this in there. Just one, just put path as a 1. I can do route also now. Now what I'm doing is I configured one listener to listen messages on 8082 port, right? So once I receive the message, once this guy receives the message, I want to print the message simply. So to print the message, we use the component called logger. Logger is a component. We will print the messages to the console. Yes, in the logger, what I'm doing is I'm printing the messages. The message received is okay. There is some syntax over here. Hash square brackets. Inside I'm putting, that's it. So from the Mule event, I want to print something. I want to extract something. So that thing, that component I need to put inside this thing, hash and square brackets. Okay, from the Mule event, if I want to extract the variables, you need to put inside variable over here. I want to extract the payload. I'm putting payload over here because I'm sending the payload from the client and that I want to see over here. I want to print over here. Right. The very first thing. Okay. I simply print the payload. Whatever I send to the client. That's it. Okay. So let me deploy this one. First thing is on the project. See in the console error, right? You can see the progress of that deployment. How your application is getting deployed to the server. That is inside this Anypoint Studio. This application got deployed. It's a confirmation. If you got any error, you can see the error over here. You can see this deployment at the status. Deployment means your application deployed successfully without any error. Okay, right? Now you can ready to test your application. So you need to install this Postman client to test your application. Yeah, I do have one. And what I'm doing is, I'm a local host. I deployed my application in my local machine. So localhost. And I deployed to the port called 8082 and path called 1. So to this point, if I send a message, your listener can pick up that message. Your listener is keep on listening at this point. At that point. Your localhost 8082 at the /1. Your listener is keep on listening for messages. Your new listener is keep on listening for messages. From that client, if I hit this one. Okay, what message I'm sending? I'm sending this JSON file, right? From that client, if I send to this point. What your listener will do is pick up that message and it will launch that message. It will print that message. Wow, look at that. Spinner got printed. The message received is this is the message we received from the client below. Yeah, on the Postman, right? And how I printed that one? I extracted from the payload. So in the Mule event, there are 3 sections out there, right? The first section is attribute, second section is payload, and third section is variable. So the data and Postman in the data section, that is go to the payload. From the payload, I'm extracting. How I'm extracting? There is some syntax. Is there? What is the syntax? Has in square bracket. See, this is a HTTP message we are getting from the Postman. HTTP, sir. And how this message look like? It got 2 sections. One is the header section. This is header. This section is header section. And this section some people call as a body section. In the body, I can send XML message or JSON message, whatever I send from this side. Oh. And when it is go to mode, the listener. This guy is the yeah. What listener will take this message and converts to Mule. And Mule even contains 3 sections, right? Yeah. This is attributes in the payload. And this variable. And this variable, yeah. So how user will build this? Whatever the data coming inside the body, takes and copies to the payloads. Right. Therefore, we're able to print the hash. Square payload means you can able to extract the payload and you can able to print the payload. Whatever the things we're sending in body that got printed right just now is all okay. And next we're coming to attributes. So what this is? The header section is copied to the attributes. Attributes, yeah. Now you have to understand what are the headers in a CTP message. There are three kinds of headers. Three types of headers. The first type is the standard headers. Standard. Yeah, these are called standard headers. And I can send a second is body parameters. Body parameters. Body parameters are also go as part of the headers. I see now. And third is URL. So these three will go as part of the headers. One is the standard headers, I see, and the body parameters and URL parameters. These will go as headers. So what Lizard will do? Will copy all these types of headers and put as part of the attributes. Attribute is here, right? Then from the attributes, if I want to extract the, you know these things. How to extract means hash. Instead of payload, I need to put attributes, right? Attribute is, sorry, my writing is not. It's really good. Much better than mine. Attribute is what kind of attribute? If you want to extract information from a header attribute, you need to give us attribute headers attributes. That's not. If I am sending something a city as an header on a header attribute header city, I'll get the city. That's no header. I'm sending some name as a query parameter. In that case, attributes, not query params. Query param. Query params. Not next. First time we send these two, and later I will discuss about the query parameters. One more, so that name is a variable. All I'm saying is it is dynamic, right? It could change. It could be whatever I set up for the query parameters. Yeah. Got. So I'll go to header and can you go back? What about the URI? Yeah, URI I will let you see. Okay. Because after I discuss these two, I will go to URI. Excellent. First time we send a header as a city. Name us some data. And query parameters I can do to send as a question mark. It's equal to something like I'm saying this data right. See whatever standard headers I can send as a header. These are called standard headers. The city is a standard header. And the name is query parameters. I will append from the URI question mark. I will send the name query parameter I want to send. I want to send two query parameters. Then, and if you want then something like a major is equal to computers. See, it's something. So these two things I'm sending. One is a name and the major, and the third is the city is an header parameter. Now what happens? These two, name, major and city, these three will go as headers, right? These three travel in a header section. And when message receive a listener, what user will do? We take this header section, this name, major and this city, that put inside the attribute section. And this is a query parameter we're passing. Now I'm printing that one using one more logger over here. Putting a logger over here. First I want to print the header parameter. How I print this? What thing I'm sending? Yeah. Attributes dot. Add that something. Attributes dot query. Now see here I need to set the attributes because that is coming as part of attributes. Attributes dot. That query parameter. First I'm printing header parameter. Oh, on the start. I'm printing. So the city one, you just added the postman. That's a standard. This was standard. Standard, yeah. And then what I'm sending? Oh, anything with the URL that has a question mark after that. That's a query parameter. Query parameter. So we're sending two headers right now. Yeah. I'm sending two query parameters and one header parameter. So that's two header, right? Yeah, this one. Okay, this one. I can give it, but this is a parameter. Header parameter. Right now I'm data right city. Right? So these two are query parameters, name and major. So then you should make sure I understand. And the postman, if you go back in the postman, yeah. Like I see, right now you are sending two type of headers, right? Yeah, one is a standard like a city. Exit, right? Yeah, right. And the other one is a query parameter. I have the two information, right? This one query parameter. So we can combine. We can combine all the headers as much as we need, as long as we're sending three types. Yeah. I'm with you now. Because some things you don't want to show the city inside on the URI. Because there is some securities and you want to send them internally. Those things you will send as a headers, internal headers. This is by seeing the URL. I can't understand. No, the city is going because there are name and major only. Oh, you want display. There is nothing you know. I think mistake or nothing wrong to display. Those things you put inside, that's a query parameters. Something you feel. You don't want to display those things on the URL. Then you send as a standard. Standard. Okay, got it. Now it's nice. Now if I want to print the query parameters, I'm going to put one more over here. Query parameter something. The name. The name. Major. Attributes, then you say attributes. Dot. Query parameters. What is the query parameter name? Name, yeah, name. First one. There's some other one, right? Yes, another one. Major is attributes dot query parameter. Make sure the spelling should be same from the postman, whatever. Sending that okay. Yeah, right now you're not in a script mode. Now let me save this thing. If you save, let me see the console. It started. Started means deployed. Now I can send from the client. Send this message. Come back over here, see. There is a log statement, so the inputs. This is a log statement. You see the one log statement at the end. The city from header is Denver. Yo, right. So this is standard header. Yeah. And name and major are hammered. Yes. So these two I'm printing from the query parameters. Yeah? Right. So the point you need to understand and you have to remember is how I'm printing. I'm printing something called the expression. This is called expression. Hash is the expression. This is called data view expression. So what is expression? Nothing. Simple, very simple. Simple, put hash and square bracket inside that. Put the thing whatever you want to extract. Right, so okay. You just say about this syntax or expression is from the data wave. Yeah, this is called data view expression. We have data view transformation language. That is a primary language for transformation. That is a very good topic we're going to see. What is very simple expression to extract the content from the Mule event? This very simple expression to extract the content. Oh, so if I can ask you this, yeah? So the listener listened to the message. It find out that was HTTP. It looked to the header. It looked to the body and put the header into attributes area on the body which the payload, but also it converts everything to the Mule event. Correct, excellent. But then for processors or not processors. Especially for the logs and others. Yeah, to get some information from that message or from the payload or whatever attribute. To get some information from what? What for the Mule event? The utilizing and data wave language or syntax to pull information from the event. Is that correct? Excellent. Wonderful. Excellent. Hamed, you got it. You got it. The point is now we are discussing how we are receiving messages. Once you receive, we can process, right? Yeah, this is the point. This is the exact point to understand how we are receiving the messages inside the Mule. Oh, how many ways we can able to receive? We receive the message from the payload or we can receive from the header from the query parameter. So if we are sending from query parameter, how we going to receive that message? If we put header, how we going to receive message? On the header, you set 3 types, standard, query parameters and URI parameters. Exactly, I learned. You know this is a new area, but I learned something from you now that even for like you saying that for security aspect, we don't put that in, sensitive data on a query parameters or URI parameters, right? We have to use those informations in the standard header. Even this is not 100% secure. People can able to hack it, can get it. But we can't see in the URL, at least right by seeing the snapshot URL. We can't see the city. Yeah, by seeing the URL, you can able to know, okay, the name is going and where it is going. The people can misuse this thing, right? They can, but the cities, they cannot able to see city on the URL, right? That's nice. So these two parameters, I think you understand about standard headers and query parameters, right? Now we are coming to the third parameter, that is the URI parameter, right? Well, one thing that I'm curious is that the listener you set it up. It was like the listener was get right. Can you? Yeah, exactly. But you're sending posts, right? When you send a post from Postman. So the listener is still valid. It's not. It's still getting what is get sent. From that port and from that and local hosts to the port is getting that okay. What I was thinking. Okay, alright. So we have to send it so it can receive it here. Now I'm with you. I thought we do. We need a get method on the postman, but we need a post method in the postman. So that our listener, our runtime, can get some information from other sources. Even get our post. When from the postman, when we invoke this point. Locos A2. At this point, the listener is listening okay. So if you use get right, you can't able to send the body is not. Forget. There is no body. Only URL is there. Okay, we can send a payload when is get. The payload is always empty. If I hit like this, right, see. Yeah, I just changed the get and if I hit, I won't get the payload. If you see the console. See one moment. Let me clear this thing and hit again. If I hit this one right. See the message received is nothing blank. Because get won't carry. The payload body is not there for the get. Only that URL is got triggered. Now we can, but you can able to see the header and this URL parameters, right? Oh, okay. What is different between post and get is, for post, we can send message from the client. But for get, the body is disabled. There is no body for the get messages. Okay, got it. Even in the listener, right in the listener, what your listener is configuring. You can set what kind of messages that is when you want to listen to get messages or post messages or all kinds of messages that also you can send over here. But right now we're not specifying right now, right? All our methods, is that right? Now our method is by default is get and post. Okay, alright, so it listens, both got it. My understanding was that it's only was listening, only getting. It was like only getting. If you are correct, if a requirement says that only you need to understand the post, only get is not allowed means you need to put explicitly on get like post. You put post, it will only allow the post method. If you send a get method, you won't, it will reject that request. Got it, got it. Got it both right now. Yeah, right. Based on your requirement. Now it is allows both get and post. This is allows both get and post. Clear mode. Yes. Now coming to the final one is URI parameter. URI parameter is also. We will send in the URL. See now this is a URL, right? What is a URL sending? So this is called URL. put for that will go here. This is a URL, right? We are sending. So this part. This part is the same, right? Actually, actual URL, and afterwards, after question mark, this part is parameters actually. Oh, parameter starts after question mark, right? And URI parameters you can send as part of the main URL. This is called main URI and this is called parameters. This query params. This part is query params, right? This part is query params. This is called main URI. Okay? And if you can send a parameter using the main URI, that's what URI parameter. Like I can send like this. Host. Map is 8.82. I want to send some country information over here. So /1/US. Question mark and the query parameters start name is going to blah blah blah, something like that. No, I want to send the country information, right? I'm sending USA here. And next time I will send a /1 /Germany. I can send whatever country I like, whatever information, right? I want to send as part of the URL, right? So now this is called URI parameter. Germany or USA, India, I can send whatever country. It depends upon your requirement. I want to get all the details from the USA. I will send USA as a UI parameter. You want to get details from Germany? I will send Germany as a URI parameter, right? So that's the URI parameter. I will send it like this. Now what I'm doing is, so in the post I'll change modification. /1/ I'm putting USA. Now in the new line, I need to pick up this information, right? I need to take this information, right? What kind of modification I need to do is after one, right? I need to put /. And here what I need to send is, how can I get that after one? See, after path after one, I'm sending country information, right, USA. And I want to get that information like $. I'm putting as country, okay. So here in the path, I'm putting $ and country means. Whatever from the client, whatever the country name I'm sending here, that is captured inside the country, this country parameter, right? So I'm putting them rather over here and here. So country. Same attributes dot. This time I'm putting the URL parameter URL. Dot. What is the parameter name I've given? Country. Where I've given, where it is seen, right? So country. So this country, I've given the listener itself. Here, this thing is a little different. I'm giving country. Yeah. And from the postman, what I'm sending this URL. I'm conferring in the listener. Rest of two, I'm conferring the client itself. See city parameter. I'm conferring in the client. Client means your postman. Okay, name also. So now you're sending all 3 headers. Yeah, exactly all 3 attributes. All the kinds of headers that come to attributes. Yeah, all the 3 attributes. All the attributes, right? Attributes.header, attributes.url parameters, and attributes.query parameters. Yeah. Alright, let me see this one again. I'm not sure, it's not quite. Let's start over. Okay, I've started right. So let me hit this one again now. So you can, yeah, you see it. Good, I see that. If I the postman in place of country, I'm sending now. Canada. Would I send Canada? Yeah. Now we receive as countries Canada. Right. I hope you get informed, Just a little bit idea about all the parameters. Right. Query parameters, header parameters, URL parameters, and the payload. So all of them, 3 of them. This is common. Is this? It's common in the sense. From the client, we will receive information on this base only. There's only 4 ways. One is as part of the payload, or as part of the query parameters, either part of the header parameters or as part of the URL parameters. Apart from that, we won't receive the message in any other way from the HTTP client. But do they? Do they like? My understanding was that it might be only. Maybe they only send it like a. No, so right now, like your example, you're utilizing all 3 different headers. That depends upon your business requirements. So in some requirement, you want to send the departments as a URL parameter or country. Okay, If you want to send certain information to CS department, you put the sales as the URL parameter. That all depends upon your business requirement. How functional, how you want to send information from your client to main events. But these are the ways how we can send information from client to Mule. Event is Mule, listener is. These are the ways you can send as a query parameter. That whatever your wish is. That depends the design of the project. The URLs depends upon the project to project. Excellent, excellent. Alright. That's really nice. If you clearly understand this message, transformation means how the event is transformed to Mule event. That is very, very important and we need to focus on that. Okay, that's right, that's right. That's very basic link. Then, and you can see. Like I said, you can see the documentation also. That is also very good practice. Event processing. Processing in MuleSoft. This is old one, quite old one, inbound property. Inbound property. This is new tree, not this one. Okay. Explain about the old one. You don't confuse about these things. The old one, new one don't need. Focus on only new one, only new for only. New for right. Yeah, new for only. So I will share the resource also. What resources you want to go through. So good man. Thank you very much. New Mule processing. This is the one we discussed. Processing. Sir. This is the thing I will give you in the chart. Go through this one. Yeah, put that in the chart. Yeah, this is important. And new for production domain. So complete this article today. Right. And if you feel a little complex, okay, don't do that. Okay, whatever. So I can explain you on that. I will do work and I'm concluding right now. But any questions, put this point. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.